Hey, Queens. Welcome to another episode of Queen Talks. You have me solo again today. And of course, I'm wearing a hoodie. What else is new? I like to be comfortable for these. And honestly, I like to be comfortable the majority of my day and throughout my life. I rarely dress up. You will rarely see me not wearing a hoodie or some sweats. So just get used to it. We have a very important topic to talk about today. And I know this is one that, let me move this closer. I know this is one that a lot of you guys struggle with. It has to do with just being so insecure about your body composition. You have maybe a distorted body image, or maybe you're insecure about how you look at times. I don't think social media is really helping us at all because we literally will go on our phone and scroll on Instagram or TikTok and we see so many other girls and women who are maybe prettier than us or who have thicker hair than us or a better skin tone or prettier eyes or longer eyelashes or a figure that we want. And just insert any insecurity, and you've probably felt this way just looking around at other people. Honestly, I could name like 10 things right now about myself that I would want to improve, which sounds so ridiculous, but I feel everyone feels that way. I've gotten to a point where it just doesn't bother me anymore because I'm more focused on my overall health. If any of you guys listen to my menstrual cycle episode when I talked about solving my PMS and my really painful period symptoms once and for all, like that really set me free from a lot of things when I focused on health first and hormones first and balance within my body first. That's when everything changed, and that's when I actually had that manifest on the outside through my body image, just because I ended up feeling so good on the inside, so nourished, so energized. I was giving my brains the right food so that I wasn't feeling insecure in myself, and my brain chemistry was essentially rewired, and I just felt so much better that I was like, you know what? I'm fine if I have like, like not as thick hair as other people, or, I have a blemish here or a redness here or whatever it may be. I just am so content with my health and even just my athletic performance because I still train. I still run sprints. I still do strength training. I still will play some soccer every now and again. I just want you guys to focus on those things first, because then your image of yourself will fall more into place. I know that that's not the messaging that you're blasted with. And I'm sure maybe even an adult has nagged you about your body, whether it was a coach telling you you were out of shape or needed to lose weight, or maybe even one of your parents told you something, which I think is just a disgrace that it's not put in the right way to really encourage you to focus on performance. But I think when it comes to our body image, that performance should be the main focus first and foremost. So, number one is just making sure that you continue to focus on your strength training. And the thing about strength training is a better body composition, a more athletic and powerful and fast body composition to play your sport comes with consistent strength training as a really nice byproduct. But also, when you have more muscle, you just have better health overall. Muscle is one of the largest organs in the body. So it's really great for your brain function, your longevity, your immune system function, your energy as well, and also your mood. So that's going to just improve so much if you consistently strength train. The other thing is making sure you are getting your nutrition right. I think a lot of us think we are being healthy and we are eating like a quote unquote balanced diet. But let me just tell you, I thought I was too until I realized that my menstrual cycle was a little bit off and my periods were really painful and my mood and my brain fog was kind of all over the place. And I thought I was being healthy with, having a smoothie or an acai bowl here and there. But then I realized that I was really sensitive to processed sugars. And this is going to be different for everyone in the amount they can handle. But I had to get really tough lovey with myself. And I go as close as I can to 0 grams a day of sugar because that's just how my hormones respond best, is to just really decreasing that amount, because the more I have, the more it increases inflammation in the body. It destroys my gut, and your gut is directly connected to your brain and your mood and your mental health. And I just had to reduce it drastically to feel better about myself and to feel in equilibrium. So you kind of have to get hard on yourself with things. And again, like I wasn't reducing sugar because I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get so lean. I was really concerned about my hormones. I was really concerned about my mood, energy, focus, and even my sleep wasn't great. And I just can't. Like, I don't respond well to it. My hormones are totally out of whack when I have too much. Even if I have like a moderate amount, I just can't do it. So, you need to get really clear on that. And sometimes it involves making a really hard decision. I'm actually going to leave some resources in the description below on the sugar impact on mental health and how it can really destroy our confidence and how our brain functions. Because I really think body image has a lot to do with the chemicals going on in the brain, and maybe they're in balance because we're not nourishing our brains enough with good anti-inflammatory food. So that's another part of it. Now, the last part of it is just accepting that there are always going to be people just better than you. Okay. So whether you think someone is quote unquote prettier than you, or like skinnier than you, or more muscular than you, or more competent than you, a better soccer player than you. Like, there are people that just make you look so freaking incompetent and just not as good every single day. And just moving into acceptance of that is very freeing, because then that allows you to put the focus back on yourself and you don't waste away time thinking about, oh my gosh, they're so much better. Oh my gosh, like they have like less like body fat than me, or whatever it is. You just realize that the more you can take care of your performance and your health, that's the most important. Because maybe the girl that you envy, or the influencer on social media who you think is like so thin and pretty and like living her best life, maybe she's like struggling on the inside. Maybe she's not the healthiest she can be. Maybe she's missed her period for an entire year. Like, you don't know. You are better off just making sure that your performance is high, your health is vibrant and radiant, and you feel amazing. And you're focusing on being productive yourself and checking all the boxes in your performance, your training, your nutrition, your sleep, your recovery. You have to take care of you, because every time you waste away looking at other people and comparing your body to them is time wasted when you can be spending that time getting healthy. I think a lot of people are probably wondering, well, what's healthy? So, some of the things that I pay attention to, I've already mentioned, are definitely your mood. Are your mood swings out of control? Are you like extremely like elated 1 minute and then just like completely depressed the next day? That's not normal. You should be at just a stable equilibrium where you're just content and you just have this joy for life. Even when like bad things happen, you still have a very level head. That's actually normal, and that's where you should be. So check that. check your energy. Are you rolling over when your alarm goes off in the morning and you're just groggy and you're not excited for the day? Well, that's a good sign that your stuff's not right. Like, you need to check in with yourself, especially checking in with your nutrition first. You should be waking up every single day ready to freaking go. And I'm up at 4 a.m. every single day. I actually like bumped up the time that I wake up. I used to wake up at 5 a.m. Now I go to bed before 9 p.m. I wake up at 4 a.m. Like, I'm so excited to just attack the day. Even if I have nothing going on and it's a weekend, I'm just like, oh my gosh, like I get to do laundry today. I get to clean the house today. And I'm excited for the most boring of tasks. Like it's insane. But I realize that that's actually normal. And when you get really hard on yourself with checking all the boxes of high performance and you really take inventory, okay, am I really doing these properly? You are like, oh my gosh, like I can feel so much better than I do now, and I didn't even realize it. Like before I got all my problems sorted out, I was kind of like coasting through life, but like I still realize looking back that I was very off because like now that I like feel so good about everything, I'm like, dang, like I thought I was healthy back then, but I like clearly wasn't. It's crazy. So you have to like really check in with that. I would also is look at your menstrual cycle. So things that aren't normal are definitely a missed period for over 3 months, or a period that's extremely irregular for several months, or even just very heavy periods. That's not normal either. Painful periods, cramping, bloating, insomnia, gas, like none of that's normal. So that means something needs to change within your performance plan. The menstrual cycle is a vital sign. Once you get your hormones right, then the body just falls into place, and also the brain too, which is, I would say, more important. So I know that it is hard to not compare to other people. And I know that you probably have a lot of stuff that you just like hate about your body. I had a girl the other day say that she was really upset that her arms weren't toned. And I just like hate to hear that stuff because it's like she can crank out pull-ups like it's nobody's business. And I'm like, "Look, your arms are at least functional. Like you can do pull-ups and not a lot of people can do pull-ups." So again, it's like, who are you comparing yourself to? Because maybe you see someone else who does have toned arms, but she can't even get one pull up. So she struggles with her own stuff too. So maybe she's insecure that she can't get a pull up. So you see, it's like you can't compare to other people. You can't envy them because they're dealing with their own struggles as well. And this reminds me, actually, I remember watching a podcast that was titled "Has 1 million followers, but she's still depressed." And it was this one model who was being interviewed about how, even though she got to 1 million followers on social media, she reached the lowest depression of her life. But what's so interesting about all this is that a lot of people would want to be in her position. I'm sure a lot of you guys would love to have a million followers and to have fame and to have status and to be maybe a supermodel like she is, but you only envy the good things about her, but you don't realize that she has some incredibly sad struggles in her life. So it's like, well, do you really want her life? Do you really want the struggles she goes through and the sacrifices so that you can have her body or you can have her following? Comparison like this on this level is just such a waste of time. It is such a waste of time. But the only time to really compare yourself to others, I think, is when we look at performance comparisons. I think we can use them as motivation. So maybe like someone on your team is a little bit faster than you or a little bit stronger. You can absolutely use that comparison as motivation to maybe do strength training or to get into a speed program. I remember when I was growing up and one of my teammates, she was getting so much faster and we both played outside midfield and I saw her kind of like surpassing me. And yeah, I was like comparing myself a little bit, but I was like, you know what? What is she doing? Is she like doing a strength and conditioning program? And I wasn't doing one at the time. And I remember me comparing myself to her. It actually motivated me to start strength and conditioning and getting my speed up. So, comparison can be used as motivation in some instances. And I do encourage that, especially when it's more like performance based and just like really raising the ceiling on your physical prowess. But if it's anything like body image or just like weight loss or just like beauty stuff, it's kind of pointless because everyone has just different insecurities and strengths about them. And I just want to encourage you guys to just focus on what you can do for yourself and get as healthy as you can be, because that's the most important part, because a lot of people could be beautiful on the outside but they could be dying on the inside too, which is it's just really a shame. And you'll know you'll know when you have vibrant health when you feel like a huge weight is just lifted off of your shoulders and things just become clear and your confidence starts to soar. And I really believe that when you focus on that internal health, that internal beauty is when it eventually does manifest on the outside and you do start to glow and you have this new confidence about you. Your body composition is strong and powerful and athletic. You're not as inflamed or sore all the time and everything's just in balance. Your hormones, your cycle, your mood, energy and focus, your sleep, and everything is just fitting together so perfectly. Everyone does have insecurities, and I think a lot of people are like, well, like people who are, on the bigger side are the ones who are the most insecure, but that's not true. A lot of people, no matter what body type you have, they all have insecurities. And I was really insecure. So, a couple months ago, I went to a boutique store to do my wedding dress fitting. And since changing how I was eating and drastically reducing sugars because of the inflammation in my body and my period symptoms, what came with that was a better period. But also, when you drastically reduce sugar, you definitely lean out, like, you lose some weight. It was pretty drastic in a short amount of time, and I'm sure you guys have, like, seen that because you've watched my show and you've seen the change happen, and I'm totally fine to talk about it on here. But when I went to my wedding dress fitting, it was just really frustrating because I had brought, like, my whole family there and then, like, some of our family friends, and I'm so excited to go in and try on all these wedding dresses. Like, it's like a day that I've always wanted to have, and I was just so excited to have everyone there and for people to be excited for me. The first thing one of my family members says to me is, "Oh my gosh, you've lost so much weight." And she, like, said it in front of the whole group, and I immediately was like, well, but you don't know that I was struggling with hormonal issues, and this is actually the best I've ever felt in my life. I don't miss sugar, I don't crave it, and I feel like I have food freedom from it. And it's just like frustrating because it's like no matter what you do, whether you like gain or like even lose weight, you're going to get criticized anyway. And it was just kind of a light bulb moment for me where I was like, no one really knows what's going on in your life. And I had to tell her, look, like, this is the best my health has been and the best I felt and the most pain free my menstrual cycle has been. And she just like didn't understand that. You just have to stick to what level of performance you have and look at where your health is at. And for me, I take a lot of objective measurements to make sure my health is good. Like, I'm very like organized with it. Because if I'm not tracking it, then I have no clue what's going on. and if my body's in a good spot, because you can like get so lean that you lose your period, or you can get so lean that, you have insomnia or like gut issues or whatever. And so some of the things that I have to track are my menstrual cycle, non-negotiable. I track my sleep quality, and I also track my blood pressure and also my labs. So you have to, again, focus on these things first. It gives you a good idea inside the inner beauty, the inner health of your body. And once you have that, then you start to feel more confident. So I hope this episode helped. I know it was a lot and we were like bopping all over the place, but we've all felt insecure at times. We all still feel insecure at times. People will judge you and maybe criticize you, and you might compare yourself to other people and look at your body and be like, oh, I don't know if I'm in a good place. But when you keep performance and your health the focus, that's when you start to ooze more confidence. That's when you start to have better self efficacy. And that's when things start to click and really fall into place. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Leave a comment below if this helped with your body image and your insecurities, but chase performance first, because you are an athlete, but you also are a human athlete for life, and you need to be healthy, and you need to have vibrant health, and you need to be there for your friends and family, and you need to live life to the fullest. So focus on performance first, and everything begins to make sense.